What are you doing?
I bet you would. Let me think now. No. Let me think now. No. Mine. Okay, you're working. Sleep. Okay, if it's that empty, don't keep pounding on it. It doesn't do you any good. Find another one.
Only one. They still have some. Oh, good.
Keep pounding on it. That's ridiculous.
Can't hear you.
Good, because I don't want anyone to know, especially while I'm taping this class, that I'm going to punch you in the eye.
Oh, well, I mean, you could.
Oh, yeah. Again. So when you picked your grenade a minute ago, we got
So
it.
you are taking class?
It showed you picking scabs and eating them too.
I don't pick my scabs.
It's stuck in your braces, like leftover.
I don't pick
Did
my-
you see what he did? He did. I saw you.
Yeah, sure.
Well, at least you dressed cute today.
Thank you. And I didn't have to change my clothes today either. That's a good thing, right?
Wait, what? Is they put Febreze on it?
I'm sorry, no, I had to change my clothes the day I wore a tunic like this, but I had leggings on. They made me go change.
Really?
Not just you guys. Yeah, came in and measured and everything. So I had to go change. So today, I'm like, oh gosh, this one's as short as that one, but these are apparently not leggings. They consider these slacks, even though they're stretchy, but they're slacks, because I guess they're not tight to the ankle.
Yeah.
So,
Leggings are like really tight.
and is this, because this shirt is still not 3 inches from my knee, is it? It's still too short?
Yeah. Why? Is even your shirt supposed to be longer? That's a shirt.
But watch, when I stand up straight, watch the legs.
Did you wear anything that hurts you?
Okie dokie then. I like take a real couple hours. We're already done with both sides of the paper, right? That's why I'm hearing all this yapping? Where's Connie Harris? Does she like come every other day or what?
Yeah.
She did not. She was just perfectly fine yesterday. It turns out that when Miss Miller came to take pictures of the baby bunnies, on Monday there were only 4. So it probably happened Friday when I wasn't here. The babies, there's only 4 in there.
How many?
5.
Which one?
One of the Hitlers.
Didn't one of, Mrs. Gallenberg. I overheard someone talk to you about, like, they had the money to take home a bunny.
Michael Cole.
There was someone who took home a bunny.
Yeah, but one of these. And it was Ashley Hogan.
No. Somebody else.
And then this one is going to have, Karema's going to take 2 from down there. She's got the white one, and apparently is it the girl, Karema? No. Yes? One of the Hitlers and the white one? You don't want a boy and a girl. You want 2 boys, right? Yeah, so is it Hitler and the white one? Yeah, so she's got those 2 claimed, and so I thought I still had the girl and a Hitler and a black boy. but one of the Hitlers is like gone.
Maybe
And
it's
it was
around
gone
the
apparently Monday, and I didn't even notice, and nobody said anything yesterday, because I guess we were counting, because we were just playing with them yesterday, after school in Critter Club. And so I noticed this morning, after school, it's like, there's only 4. Did someone put one in a pocket and leave with it? So, but Miss Miller took pictures Monday, and there was only 4. So she had 6, the runt died, which left 5. The runt died before they even, they hardly any hair. It had a really bad arm, and its eyes weren't working right. Liver test, it was in bad shape. It needed to die. It would have been in trouble. And I'm very sorry, Lydia. I shouldn't have brought it up, but yeah, I am. She's very sensitive about this. But it was a good thing. It was for the best. And so I had 5, and now suddenly there's not 5 in there anymore, which means somebody decided to take home a baby. And I'm not really mad that it got stolen, although, what I'm upset about is they're not weaned yet. They're not free of mama's milk. So it's going to be in trouble. It's going to be in trouble. So they've either killed it, or it's going to die, or it's going to have a really, really rough life, because it shouldn't have just been taken away from its mama like that, not at 3 weeks old. So, yeah. Anyway, so I got rolled up. All right, all right, so we have a test coming up a week from today. It's just a minor little no big deal writing test.
What do you mean?
It's just a star. Piece of cake. Now, Mr. Henderson, he is the curriculum specialist for our district. He's kind of like, he's my boss, but in a different way as Mr. Menifee's my boss. Mr. Menifee's the boss of people in the school building. Mr. Henderson's the boss of curriculum. What gets taught, how it gets taught, and that kind of stuff. And he's not just like a boss, like a, you will do. He's kind of like, how can I help you? And he came in today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Steve, we have to do this tutoring thing on Friday and Monday. A pull-out thing. Ms. Seaman and Ms. Morgan are going to help us pull out some people who might have not done really, really great on that benchmark. And some of y'all who come to me saying, Ms. Gilmer, are you going to go over play this going? Ms. Gilmer, are you going to go over this? Ms. Gilmer, are you going to go over that? Some of this stuff that y'all seem worried with. So 35 kids out of the 100 and something I have, I highlighted, and y'all are going to get pulled out of, not y'all, very few of y'all, but they're going to get pulled out of the elective courses on Friday of this week and Monday of next week, just as kind of like, boot camp. Kind of like a boot camp. We used to always do a boot camp in 8th grade before the history and the science tax, but we lost a day with history getting moved up to Tuesday. So we can't do boot camp next week, so they're going to just do like a mini boot camp and just pull people out. So if you think that you want to have a little extra tutoring on Friday and Monday, let me know, because if I didn't put you on that list, if I didn't put you on the list, then I can add you to it. Okay, so check with me after class and let me know if you want to be on that list, and I can check and make sure I highlighted you. So then, so they're going to go over the life science stuff, as in, food chains and food webs and all that kind of stuff. But I have some PowerPoints for that, and I got them because Mr. Henderson, who came through, said, hey, I've got this stuff on the S-Drive. Have you ever used it? And I was like, what are you talking about? So no, I didn't know what he was talking about. And it's really, really good stuff. So we're going to go over this little handout right now as our warm-up. And mainly what I want to look at are the 3 pictures of the atom at the bottom of page 1. And then after that, we're going to do this PowerPoint, and we're going to answer questions as we go through it, because it's a very good review over this chemistry stuff, matter and energy, okay? So we'll go back over compounds, solutions, molecules, blah, blah, blah. Morelli, did you need me?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I think so. I did add you on it because I was a little nervous, and after the other day, and then I looked at your benchmark score, and I thought, maybe, but I was going to talk to you about it, so you're okay?
What about benchmark score?
12. I'm kidding, I don't know.
Why did I add you?
Sorry, what?
Why did I add you?
Why did I add you? Well, because your benchmark score was way down there.
Can you let me know the air test here?
Yes. I mean, really? I think I put you down, and I don't get to make the schedule, Miss Stafford will, but you're going to get pulled out of one of your electives. And it probably won't be, well, when do y'all do your band thing? Tomorrow, right? You do your band thing tomorrow. So, and this is going to be Friday and Monday. So if it is band, it's only going to be for that one day, and it'll be after contest. But if y'all are fixing to have a party or something, I don't think she'll pull you out of that. Hopefully she will be pulling you out of aerospace. I know you're bored. Can I do? I put you twice. I don't know, Stacia, if I did or not. How many of you people that are saying, Miss Galbraith, can I get on the list? How many of y'all are planning on coming up here Saturday? Because Miss Galbraith and Miss Week are both going to be here Saturday for Saturday school. And you know I always bring donuts. I'm just saying I feed. Don't I?
I like donuts.
I feed. So, please come on Saturday because we can go over the same stuff that y'all are worried about on Saturday. Yes,
Give me my pen. Oh, that's cool. They both went off. Give me it.
I think it's 9 to noon. And then you have the whole rest of the day to go over. It's gonna be okay. All right. You gotta sit up the hill over there, don't let let me think now. Depends on how bad next year's classes are. They're having a missed last year's class, so y'all got to
Yeah, girls.
Yeah, you don't see girls.
Yeah, girls.
It looks funny.
What?
Well, I feel like.
I'll have to speak.
But you never take
No.
Even I was there, yeah. He did. Ask her.
No!
She said no, right?
All right, sixth period, let's call in sixth period in just a minute. All right, so look at page 1. Combinations of atoms. We're going to go over all this vocabulary with the PowerPoint that I got. So let's just skip right straight down here and look at these 3 atoms, okay? The instructions say, because everybody likes to skip the instructions. Right? What, oh, sorry, Ryan, I thought you were asking a question. You're just stretching? Identify the 2 atoms that are ions. Label the negatively charged ion with a minus sign. Label the positively charged ion with a plus sign. Do we have to look for an isotope? No. You want to just in case we need to remember what an isotope is?
Yeah.
Mary men, this is the kind of shirt you need to wear. Oh, when you run track, you need to get an outfit like this one. Whee! I can fly all the way to Indiana. Woo! Want to borrow? Wait. What did you just say? Because it's a tent? No, I didn't. Does this tag say made by Omar the tent maker? You are evil. Mary, it's a cute shirt. It's not.
His name is Omar?
My tent maker, yes, my boss.
Oh my God.
I'm a big girl. I'm sorry, okay, so, chasing butterflies again, and I told you. So, that one shut the answer on. All right, so number 1, we are going to label it whether or not it's an ion, and we're also going to label it if it's an isotope because it can be both. And we're going to figure out how to identify these atoms, right? So Ms. Dillon, we're going to look at this first one. How do I know what this atom is, sweetie? Okay, I'm talking off of Steve Poe. Isn't that her name, Gillum? Your real name's Gillum, right? Dominique? What's your last name? Gilliam, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm just going to stick with Obstipo since I can't say your last name right. Obstipo, look at the first one. How do I know what this atom is? Do you remember? I know, it's kind of rough, right? So Sylvia's going to remind you. What did she look at? The proton number. What is the proton number going to tell you, sweetie? The proton number. It's a clue. The proton number is equal to the atomic number. So if this is 11, then what atom do we have? Let it go back to Miss Gilliam. If it's number 11, which atom do I have, baby? It's trying to focus, but it's being it closer head. Sodium, thank you very much. So, this is sodium, and that will be Na, right? Yes, sir? Oh, hello, sir. On the way, I don't care, go ahead, just run through it fast. All right, so sodium is number 11. That's what this tells us, right? The proton number. On the way, teaching here. Sodium's number 11, we don't care. Sodium, lead away, I don't care. Sodium is number 11. So, how do I know if this is an ion? What do I look at, Ian? Ask a friend. I can't hear her. You need to hush. Say it again.
Subtract the electrons from the protons.
The electrons from the protons. And
If it doesn't equal 0, then it's an ion.
if it doesn't equal xenon, it's an IO. So, Ian, how do I know if it's an ion?
You subtract the electrons from the protons, and if it doesn't equal 0, it's not. It is.
All right then. So, Ms. Gates, in a simple way, could I just say, if the proton number and the electron number are not equal, then it's an ion?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the truth, so pay attention, okay? If the proton number and the electron number are not equal, then it's an ion. So is this atom an ion?
Yes.
Because, where's she at? Gillian, why is this an ion? Demetrius, it's her question and she's really smart. If you give her a chance, let her answer it.
Because it's 10 plus 12.
All right, so remember, ion means that the proton number is not equal to the electron number. So, helium is sodium, is this sodium atom an ion? Excuse me?
Is.
Because? Hey, Demetrius, then you explain it.
I don't know.
Then why is it so funny when she's answering? That's why I have you move way far away from those two girls and you still won't move way far away from them. You still sit with them and it's really distracting. Why is this an ion? Demetrius.
Because ion is something that includes electrons and protons, and it won't equal.
And I'm not sure, in what way does it not equal?
Because it has a line to it equals.
True, so what doesn't equal if you have an ion?
Protons and electrons.
Okay, so is this an ion right here?
No,
Because?
because protons and electrons. Oh, it is.
It is because
It's protons and electrons. are not equal.
they're not equal. How many protons do I have?
11.
How many electrons do I have? Electrons.
23.
Electrons.
Okay.
Thank you. I have 11 protons, 10 electrons. They are not equal. If they are not equal, then I have an ion. Okay? So now, Lydia, how do I know if this is an isotope? What equals 0?
The two are equal. That's what you mean.
What two are equal?
Protons and electrons.
Okay, so isotope has nothing to do with electrons. Isotope is when you look at not electrons, but what? The neutrons. So an isotope is when the proton number is not equal to the neutron number. So Lydia, is this an isotope? Because? Because I don't know. Say it again? Okay, so how many protons do I have? What did she say?
She said 8.
How many protons do I have? How many neutrons do I have? Are they equal? No. So yes, I have an ion, and yes, I have an isotope here, don't I? Class, do y'all understand that? Because this is vocabulary from October, and it's been a while, right?
Yep.
It has been a while. So we've got to be paying attention. It's not a joke. I only have tomorrow, Friday, and Monday to spend with you guys. And I need to cover this, plate tectonics, and physics.
What was the use of this?
You're taking a history test,
I'm not
Susan.
in
Wait,
I have no idea.
we don't see you tomorrow.
Some of y'all won't, which means I really, really need you to pay attention today. Or I'm talking to Ms. Johnston, you might not go to contest. You need to be listening, okay, sweetheart? So, back to focusing here, okay? Isotopes and ions, very important. Remember, what did we say about ions? Keep your eye on the electrons so you don't get electrocuted, right? So ions go with the electrons, and the isotopes go with the neutrons. Does the proton number ever change? If it did, what would happen? Totally different element, right? If this had 12 protons, would it be sodium anymore? What would it be?
It would be,
It would be Mg, right? Magnesium. Does that make sense, guys? All right, so let's do this one and see if we got it down. Gonzalez. What do I have? What do I have here, the center one? What is this atom, sweetheart?
What is it?
What is this atom in the middle? You don't need to kick your lunch aside and wake up. It is an atom of what?
It's like right next to your head.
Okay, be quiet. That's not nice. I'm glad you have it, but he was obviously sleeping. Let him wake up. Try again.
Oxygen?
Because. And.
That's all I know.
What do the protons have to do with being oxygen? Thank you very much. So if it has 8 protons, then it's number 8, and you look at number 8, and it's this one right here, right? Got to be able to explain it. Do you remember when I try to explain the math and I can't? I obviously don't understand it well enough if I can't explain the math, right? That's why I want you to explain it to me so I know you really, really got it, okay? Stop looking at me like I'm crazy because we all know I am, but quit it.
I'm tired.
I love you too.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry.
I don't get how you like, first time reading, like, how you get the numbers.
Thank you very much. So what's the most important number when you're looking at an atom? The proton number is the most important number. And if you look at this right here, the most important number is that very top number on the box. And that very top number on the box is called the atomic number. And the atomic number is equal to the proton number.
Oh.
Okay, does that help, sweetie? That's why if you have number 14, you're going to have silicon. But what if this was element number 11?
You have sodium?
If it was number 11, then it's not silicon anymore at all, right? It's something completely different. It's going to be back to sodium. If you have 17 protons, what element do you have?
The one that says 17 above it?
That's right, and that would be this one with Cl, chlorine. Does that make sense, sweetheart? So the most important number is the number on top of the box. And remember, this chart is going to be given to you on Wednesday, and it's labeled atomic number right here. And if you can remember that number on the top, it tells you how many protons you got. You got it made. Just remember, that's your proton number.
The bottom row number, that's a confusing about how there's 2 numbers. I didn't know it was on the list.
That's right. This is the mass. It tells you how much stuff is packed in the center. In the nucleus part, it tells you how heavy it is. Remember, the electrons don't count. It's how much. So what is in the nucleus, Saldana?
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. Name the 2 things that are inside, the 2 particles inside the nucleus, Gonzalez.
Protons and neutrons?
Protons and neutrons. So how many protons would this one have?
How many protons?
Just let her think, let her think. Bingo. How many protons does, come on, focus please. How many protons does it have?
14.
That's right. And then this number is the mass of the nucleus. And you said, what's in the nucleus? Protons and neutrons. So if you got 14, and this is the total, how do you find the neutron number? If this number is the, protons plus the neutrons. Yep, subtract 14 from that and it tells you how many neutrons you got. ¿Comprendes? A little bit?
Yeah, more than other people.
Very good. And you know what? I'm here tomorrow after school, Friday after school, Monday after school. I'll be here Saturday. Come for donuts. We can do some of these together when it's smaller and people aren't talking in this other room. It'll be easier. Gotcha? Can we do that? If you can Saturday. If not, come after school tomorrow.
Sorry, Mom.
There's a bus tomorrow, you know.
Those purple thingies. Sorry, Mom. No, not thingies.
Yes?
Like the purple thingies. Yeah, I have to learn. I always get confused, like, which ones are outside and which ones are.
Okay, so let's get there. Hang on just a second. So now we have decided that this is oxygen, right? All right, so now, Ian, is this an isotope?
No,
Why?
because you're telling me so.
What are they? How many?
Is it an ion?
Huh? 8 and 8. So these two are equal, which means it is not an isotope. So I'm going to do isotope and say nope, nope to isotope, not nope to C-scope. I don't have one of those in my yard yet. Is it an ion, Bradford? Is oxygen an ion, this particular oxygen?
No.
Why? What equals 0? Oh, okay, so they're equal, 8 and 8, okay. So it is not an ion. So now, Morelli had a great, I think it was Morelli, maybe it was Saldana. Somebody had a good question here and I didn't cover it on the first one. Look at how they drawed. I'm so good at English language. Look how they drew these two elements. Do y'all remember the rules for how you draw the elements?
2 on the inside. I believe 8 on the second and then 6 on the third.
2, 8, 16. Remember 2, what was that formula? We wrote it down.
Oh,
2 in squared, right?
Oh, yeah, 2, thingamajigger, and 2.
2 in squared. The formula is 2 in squared. So 2, then 8, then 16.
What's in?
Whichever shell you're talking about. So 2 first shell would be 1 squared. And 1 squared is just 1 times 2 means there's 2 on the first shell. This one right here, first shell equals 1. Yeah, squared goes here, right? So 1 squared is 1 is 2 in squared, right? 2 times 1 squared is 2. So the first shell has 2 electrons in there. 2 electrons. Oh, hello, Hala. Thank you for telling me 5 times and I'll finally listen. The second shell is 2 second shell squared.
So it's like in math.
2 squared is what? Times 2? It means there's 8 electrons. Does that make sense? 2 in squared? All right, so, keep going. Did that work? You got it. Usually you guys explain it much better than I do. Y'all talk the same language and I'm an old lady now. I remembered last year, I realized, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm doing. Any other questions about the electrons and how to put them in shells? All right, so who wants to tell me about the third element here, the third atom here? Okay, Sylvia, what element do we have here? In just a second. Ian. Bradford, turn around, please. I'm losing patience with that side of the room. I appreciate that you're very confident about this, but when I called on you, I wasn't seeing a lot of confidence, baby. Okay? Focus, please, so that everybody around you can hear. All right, so back to this. Sylvia, what element? Oh, you need one of these? Oh, I know. I know, baby. Let her, she volunteered. Let her try. All right. What element do we have here for number 3?
Chlorine.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's going to be Sylvia's. So this is chlorine because, why, baby? All right, because it's number 17. All right, so is this, I asked you once, do y'all need to step out? Bradford and Ian, you want to leave? I catch you again, you're out. No questions asked. All right, so back to this. We got chlorine. So is chlorine, and which one do you want to do first, ion or isotope?
Ion.
All right, is this an ion? Because? They are not equal, so it is an ion, yes, check. Is it an isotope? Because? Very good, so it's an ion and an isotope at the same time. It can happen, okay? So, what would the atomic mass of this be, Massilia? Because? 17 plus 18 equals 35, and that's that other number at the bottom. Do you see that, Saldana? Look at chlorine. Does the number under there look like a close to 35?
35.453.
Because it's an average of every ion that's supposedly out there in chlorine. That's why it's going to have a 0.0 whatever the number after it. But do you see how what you got that 35 number? Because it's the protons plus the neutrons. 17 plus 18. Does that make sense, baby?
So that's how you get that number.
Bingo. Cool, right?
Yeah.
All right, all right. All right then, so any other questions from any of these questions that confused you and you need to ask a question? Go ahead.
How do you get electrons?
Say it again.
How do you get electrons?
How do you get electrons? It's a very good question. Unless they tell you that it's an isotope, you must assume that it is a non-charged particle, okay? So on these examples, the first example, does it have a charge? What would its charge be? Because, wait a second, Zach, why is it positive? Yes, you do. Okay, look at what you have. You've got proton numbers. Which protons have what kind of a charge? Neutrons. What charge do they have? Neutral neutrons. Do they have a charge? No. Electrons. What do they have? So look at your numbers on the first element. Does it have, hush please, does it have a charge? Why? 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 So let me show you this. Positive. Negative. Does it have a charge? How many positives do you have? One extra, right? Yeah, you got 11 and then 10. If you do plus 11 plus minus 11, right? You're going to end up with a plus 1, right? You've got an extra proton in there. You've got an extra positive charge floating around. You don't have enough minuses to cancel out all your pluses. Am I making any sense to anybody here?
Yeah.
I know it's warm and we're really sleepy. I do not know why the air conditioner won't cut back on again, but I swear, I'm worried about today's weather. Watch the skies, and if the sirens go off, find a hiding hole. Just saying. It's really rough today. So just a second. Just a second. So, you find the electron number, back to you guys. On the periodic table, if they say element number 73, how many electrons does it have? Well, how many will it have? Element number 73, how many electrons will it have? 73. It will equal the proton number every time. They will always be equal. Then if there is an ion of a certain element, that's the only time it's not going to be equal. And you're not going to know that from looking up there. They're going to have to tell you that it's an ion. Okay? So, does that, I don't know. There's like 5 ways they can do this with you guys, okay? They can give you an element with the certain numbers and tell you to plug in what is the mass, or they can tell you how many protons in this ion of, and you have to use the atomic mass to get to the proton number, right? How many neutrons to get to, you have to use the proton number to get to that. If they're going to ask you about electrons, they will always be equal if it's like this. The only time you have to look at an ion is if it's a question like these. Okay? You have to know if they're equal. If they say draw the element, your electrons and protons are always going to be equal. That made no sense to me. Did it make any sense to y'all? I know, me either, right? Trans, you crazy. Oh, I called her Trans too, and her name is Jen Din. I have totally lost it. As if I ever had it. That's cute, isn't it? I love it. All right, so, we good on this one? I'm so sorry. What else do we need? Good question, Ryan.
Can I have my question?
Yes, what's your question?
So there's a tornado.
Shh, girls,
So,
1 second. Let him ask this question. Go for it.
so if there's a tornado, do we have something to start this?
Well, gee, that's a great segue. No, listen to me, guys. There was an issue with this when we had Terrible Tuesday. And it happened on last Tuesday was the anniversary. And there was stake testing at that time, I'm sure. Probably before TOS or whatever it was called back then.
It was spring break.
Oh, it was? Okay. But Ryder High School had to actually be redistributed. They still went back to school.
Yeah.
They just found another building to put them in. So this close to it, that would be a call that the people downtown would have to make. And that would mean this building blows away. And we're all praying that's never going to happen. But keep your eye on the sky because the weather's bad today. There's a good possibility of really severe storms today. The weatherman sent out an email. So we're all watching the sky and watching the radar. But yeah, we're not going to, please God, let the building blow away because we could die, okay? We don't want to die. But they are very mindful of our testing coming up. This is my advanced class, by the way. And go ahead, please.
No, I'm glad to hear that, because that's one reason I want to step in, is that we did a horrible job on our benchmark. Well, I know Mrs. Gallenberg probably talked to you about it, about only 37% of the students passed, and that will not cut it on that science. By law, you got to pass the science, and you got to pass, you must make at least a 70 in the course, which that's not going to be a problem.
Better not be. Better do your homework now.
But you need to take advantage of everything she's sharing with you about the STAR test. In fact, some of you will be pulled over the next couple of days from some electives in order to give you some additional tutoring. And Mrs. Wink and Mrs. Gallenberg will be here Saturday, 9 to 12. And so we're doing everything we can to put you in the best position to pass, but in the end, on Wednesday, it's up to you. So you need that focus, get a good night's sleep prior to the test, and come in and do an excellent job on that Wednesday. But do not blow this off. Just because it's not math and just because it's not reading, do not blow it off. It is essential to pass this thing.
This class makes me crazy, but they're a joy because 3 of the kids in this class raised their hand and asked, you did put me on the list, didn't you? And I don't have them on the list. So I'm going to email the staff room if they can be added. They want to be on. But some of them can come on Saturday, right? I'm asking these guys.
Oh.
Didn't some of y'all say you're going to be here on Saturday? I brought them donuts. I have donuts down here also. They have to eat, you know. Big Texas and all kinds of stuff. Yes, sir.
Can I just come with donuts?
No.
And yeah, sure you can, and then I'm gonna punch you in the eye because
Like,
it's a Saturday and I'm allowed.
He's always running everywhere.
Oh, that's the truth, yeah. All right then, so, when do we leave, 22 after? Darn it, okay, I wanted to get to that PowerPoint, but we still have, how many are going to be going tomorrow? Raise your hand, this is going to be very sad. How many are leaving tomorrow?
What are they leaving for?
They have a band contest tomorrow. It's very important because it's UIL, right? Raise your hand high if you're in band and you're not going to be here tomorrow. Okay, so just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it, really? Don't tell us you're this one.
You have to come to Kylie.
7.
Kylie Graham, right?
Mostly my Graham.
Isn't it Rusty Graham?
All right then, so, there's only 7 of y'all going to be absent. I do have a copy of the PowerPoint and the questions that go with what I'm going to go over tomorrow. So if you guys will show up after school when I'm doing tutoring, I can give you a copy of that, you 7. Okay, so what you missed tomorrow, you can make up with me. Critter Club would work. Yeah, I will give you that stuff. And seriously, guys, give me 3 hours on Saturday and you will be so prepared for Wednesday. I'm not kidding. I don't care how, if you already know you're going to pass and Ian thinks he's gonna, if he wanted to be commended or get a 100, he would be here Saturday. Because not only can I get you passing, which is not going to be the case with you guys, I think we're going to pass, but really, wouldn't it be better to be commended or make 100? Because that's what you're shooting for, right? I would be. I don't shoot for 100 because that sets the bar a little too high for somebody like me, but some of y'all, evil, full smart kids could do that, right? So, and I can get you there, but you have to show up, okay? I can get you there. I saw another hand over here. Oh, yes, Lupe?
I can't
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
On Saturday school, can we just run for science? 'Cause I don't want to go to math.
Well, since you already had the math test, and since they don't know who has to do the redo, then there won't be very few, if any, going to 8th grade math. If you show up Saturday, they're going to put you down here. Or history.
They still have me for math, reading, history, and science.
Well, you won't be going to math or reading on this Saturday. You're going to reading, you're going to science and history, and that will be it this weekend.
Can I stay with you? I don't like
That's on tape. Just saying.
Oh.
And I don't get to decide that. If they tell you you're going to history, you're going to history. Do you want to pass? He just said you have to. Do you want to pass? You need to go to the tutoring. And Miss Honeycutt might be the one here instead of Mr. Moore. Isn't she been the one that's coming on Saturdays anyway? And Miss Honeycutt's tutorials are super awesome. I'm just telling you. Yes, sir. Yes, I can.
Yeah,
You come Saturdays? And guys, remember, we have a tutoring bus tomorrow after school. If you can't come Saturday, stay tomorrow if you possibly can, because we can get you home tomorrow. And on Saturday, you gotta get here, but we can bus you back home. And if you can't get here at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, tell Miss Stafford and she'll get you a ride to come get you and bring you here. We will get you here if you want to get here. So it's not a transportation issue. It's only if you're going out of town for a quince or something like that, you know? If I could go out of town for a quince, I wouldn't be here this Saturday. But Mr. Gallagher's working, so I'll be here. Go ahead.
If I come on Saturday, I don't have to track time. Can I just come to like 10:30?
Yes, do the first half and then go. Yep. Today's handout is a free 100. Keep them. I don't need them. Scrap paper, garbage, I don't care. That's a free 100. When the bell rings, you are free to leave. I know I tried I got it! I loved it!
Freaking April! You don't know how to play the game, April. You don't know how to do it back.
So long, farewell to you, my friend.
What do you want, little girl? Ian? Hi. Yeah, I bet you twice, Sylvia. You know I don't like you.
No, please.
Miss,
Just one second. Ian, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to stop this because we don't.